Hi there, and welcome back to another video in this series about MailMate. My name is Matt Petrowski. I'm a MailMate user and a big-time enthusiast, been using it for a long time. In this video, we're taking a look at the topic of managing accounts. These are basically editing and adding your accounts. Now, MailMate is an IMAP mail client, meaning it's going to access your mail, but it's doing it by pulling it from the server and then telling the server what to do with the mail. That's different than a POP account, where the mail is actually retrieved off of the server, pulled down to your client, and then basically taken off of the server. So knowing that it's an IMAP client, which you probably already familiar are if you're a power user, we need to set up some email. Now, I'm going to walk through this process. And initially, when you open MailMate, what you're going to get is you'll typically get a dialog box which will open up and look at all of the accounts that are in your preferences according to your operating system. Now, you don't have to choose any of those accounts. I actually did not, but you are going to need to obviously add your email accounts, however many you want, into MailMate. So I'm going to switch over to Google Chrome here, and I have loaded up one of my many Gmail accounts. Now, I am a former Gmail user, and I loved when Gmail came out, they started to provide some convenience filtering. You can actually see that right here where we've got social, promotions, and they were doing this filtering for you. But what I was lacking is the ability to sort. For example, you can see here that I have all of these IFTTT, if this then that, messages. And I want to be able to group all of these in one place and be able to select all of them and delete all of them. Now, I can do a search within Google in order to find that, but sometimes having to think about the search itself takes a little bit more time than I'm willing to. Yes, if you know about the keyword operators within Gmail, then it's very easy to actually put in searches. For example, I can put in from, and I can put IFTTT and see if I get a result. And there it's pretty much going to filter my content down. But within a native client, such as MailMate, you're able to sort all of these within the context of everything else and be able to select them as a group and do any type of action upon those items. So that was the number one reason that got me to think about, I need to switch because I need to be able to do things to mail a lot easier than the Gmail browser client was allowing me to do. So let's add an account. If you don't know where the settings are, at least in Gmail, you're probably going to find this setting somewhere within help documentation. Within Gmail, if you go to the settings option, and you scroll down, I believe it's in the accounts and import section, or maybe it's forwarding and IMAP. There it is. In the forwarding and IMAP section, if you scroll down to the bottom, what you're going to find is you're going to find this, the IMAP access. And there you're going to find configure your email client, and that's where you're going to find these configuration instructions. That's what's going to take you to a page of all of the information that you need in order to set it up so that it'll work with MailMate. Now, within MailMate, once you've got the account set in there, you can do a lot of different things in terms of this one account that you use, especially if you've set it up to use multiple different email addresses. So let's take a look at that. All right. So I've taken the time to add a new account into MailMate. It's really easy. You just go up to the File menu, and then you're going to choose the option to Add IMAP Account. You're simply going to use all of the information that you're provided with, and here we can see all of my information over on the browser side here. It gives me all of the port settings and everything that I need. Fortunately, I don't even need to put in my password because with this option of OAuth 2 checked, what's going to happen is it's going to bring up a dialog and verify my ability to access this one particular Gmail account and be able to use all of the information. Now, the key thing here is we have this option, which is really nice, where the email addresses for any aliases that you've set up within your Gmail account, you can add those to this particular line right here. And you're just going to do it with a comma. Now, if you're using, for example, your Google Apps account, let's say, for example, I own the domain QWERTY.com, which I do, I would be able to put in matt@QWERTY.com as one of my aliases even though my mail is being sent through my qwerty.mail@gmail account. So this alias, provided it's an alias that's been verified through the Gmail settings, and you do need to do that through the browser, this one line of all of your different possible email addresses for one given account can have as many as you want as long as they are comma separated. And in some of my accounts, I have as many as 8 different email addresses, all coming from one centralized Gmail account. And that is a real big benefit to me. And the from, where I choose to send the mail from, is something that I can always select in MailMate, or I can have it so that one of the settings within MailMate settings, whatever the email comes in as, it goes out on the same from address. So if somebody sent me a mail to matt@qwerty.com, then when I reply, it will automatically choose to use that outbound address, even though the mail is being sent through the Gmail address, which is that one right there. So you really get to have control over that. And on top of that, you've got this super advanced feature of an address pattern, meaning if you have a wide array of email addresses that are all based off of, let's say, the same domain, and you actually respond to support and info and sales and a personal address at qwerty.com or whatever your domain is, you're able to specify that address pattern. And you're going to be able to look that particular option up within MailMate's help. So as I zoom out here, what's going to happen is it's going to attempt to authorize this by bringing up a dialog. I can see that it's been added as a source down here at the bottom. And each of the different accounts that you have will actually add them as sources. Now, typically, once you've got everything set up in your account, you're probably going to want to hide all of these sources. You can click on sources and click hide, and then you'll be able to hide all of the main sources or the different locations where your email is coming from. So if you have 5 different accounts, they would all be within the sources. But what we're going to do is up in the top section is we are going to set up a group of smart folders which are going to filter out our email exactly how we want to see and work with it. And that's what's going to be covered in another video.